it was way off script for an opening day. You try to set things up the best that you can, and they had the same scenarios we did. Some miscalculation on how we were going to be affected by weather, obviously, with the delay to the start time and then not getting in very much baseball once we started. But, part of your challenge each and every day is to be able to adjust to whatever is thrown at you. And we were able to piece it together, found our way back into the game in the seventh there, and then happened quickly, as it does sometimes in those type of games. You get a 5-pitch walk, and 2 pitches later you're walking off the field. So a tough day. It was a long day. Told the guys to make sure they enjoy themselves tomorrow. We haven't had a lot of off days as of late, and we'll come back ready on Wednesday to play.
Was it Presley the easy choice once that first delay, or second delay, I guess?
We thought that he was the proper choice, given how everything was lined up. Michael's situation at the end of camp, when we were trying to get him extended a little bit, pushed us into Saturday. And, after throwing 53 pitches, I think he wasn't really set up to go very long, so we kind of used him for protection later on if we needed to go somebody after extra innings or whatever the situation might have been. So, yeah, Ryan was the right guy.
How tough is it when you have 2 guys that were throwing the ball pretty good at them, and then you're going to not have them after that first delay?
Well, Irvin had to wiggle out of a couple jams there, first couple innings, but he put a couple zeros up there. And, Tillman, I don't know if I've ever seen him quite as sharp. We had 5 strikeouts in a row there, I think. So, they lost a guy who was throwing the ball extremely well, too. So, like you say, you don't really imagine that scenario coming out of camp, but that's the way it went today.
Did you have input into the decision, and were you okay with it when they said we're just going to wait?
I had no input. I was being informed of meetings prior to the game being started, and they kept saying 3:15. They expected heavy rain, and so they held off. And we all know it didn't come till after 4 o'clock, and we never really got anything overly significant. But we decided. I talked to Buck at one point, and he thought that the rain was going to continue lightly for a couple hours, but we were better off starting in the rain than waiting till 8 o'clock with the conditions tomorrow not too promising. It's just the kind of way it unfolded.
Well, were you surprised at all? Let me ask you this way. What do you teach your outfielders with a man on third on a play like that with 1 out? Do you teach them that that's a ball to catch?
It's going to vary from situation to situation. I think at home, to go ahead and get the out, depends on how, you got a strikeout guy out there in the matchup. It's a lot to consider when you're trying to make a play. I wasn't sure if he was going to just let that ball go. Those balls early in the game were blowing back fair. Maybe he was concerned about that, and then he got in position to make the catch. But certainly not going to question what their strategy was. We were able to get the tying run, and so for me to try to give you an answer of what they try to teach, it's going to kind of vary every situation, every time that comes up.
Well, on Jones's double, I couldn't tell whether Brian double touched or wasn't sure if Machado's good. Did you see any?
It was mishandled. I thought more than caught off guard. The ball kind of died there after it came off the wall, and when your outfielders have to make a dead-legged throw, you try to get out there the best that you can. But I think the ball either shorthanded him or whatever, but he didn't secure it right away to make the transfer on the relay, and we had a chance there, but the extra hesitation for whatever reason kind of eliminated our chance to cut down that